right, people, it is time to check out Wipeout 2048, the first game chronologically in the Wipeout franchise.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, the original Wipeout took place in 2052.
So this is an origin story.
This is an origin story for Wipeout. Let's fire it up here and get into it. This game's got style like you want from a Wipeout game. And so this game actually takes you from 2048 through to 2050. So there are 3 seasons of Wipeout in this game.
I don't.
And then Wipeout XL was set in 2097. So there's like a big leap from Wipeout to Wipeout XL. And the way they kind of surface that sort of stuff, or the way they kind of treat it in game, is that you're looking at kind of dirtier tracks, like more kind of things that might look like roads, or you're racing on grass and that sort of stuff.
Is it explained why the Earth the way it is in the Wipeout mythology?
No, not really. It's
Okay.
just, this is, we'll watch the opening video here, which I think will tell you everything you need to know about Wipeout. But there is fiction, like, all the teams like 5-Star and all that stuff, like they have driver names that this is the driver that is essentially driving these things in the game.
This is all news to me.
Yeah. All right, an error occurred while contacting the server. I don't know what that's about. So, here we go.
More than a feeling, we're building a dream that we've always had clear in our sights. Watching it ignite as we open our eyes, the one way we know to survive.
It's a pretty good video that lets you know, here's how we got to this point. All right, yeah, old ass cars. Got it. Okay. Slightly less old ass cars. Relatively recent cars.
Open wheel.
Some open wheel racing. But I think the problem is like ultimately these wheels are just getting in the way.
So is the ground, for that matter.
Yeah.
Physics. Who needs it?
Yeah, totally. Now this is a Wipeout I'd be interested in seeing.
Oh man.
Wow.
The future of ridiculous race cars. This just looks like a roll cage or something at this point. But then they finally realized, you know what, all this ground stuff, it's cool, but walls are way cooler. And then they were all, what if we just didn't even have that? All right, cool. What if we were just driving, basically, spaceships? So naturally, that's how we got to this point. One thing I'll say about Wipeout, load times are horrendous.
Heard there was a problem in the Japanese one, but supposedly it was going to be tweaked in the U.S. one, but seems that
The load times are horrendous.
Not so much. So it doesn't even cache or anything, right?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. So we get a little back touch action here just across the interface. Again, multi-touch and make the, I don't know if that plays on the stream real well, but I am making these triangles on the back rise and fall with my fingers. And here's your kind of main menu. Crossplay lets you play with PS3, but I think they have to patch the PS3 version before that works. Also, when you're doing the crossplay thing, it actually makes you pick which race and which class you want. So it's like you're breaking up into different lobbies, whereas the main multiplayer just lets you just jump in and go. So kind of a Ridge Racer 6 sort of approach to interface here. You see the different events. You have your speed laps down here that fill in as you proceed and gain rank. It shows the events that you've completed as well as the ones you haven't. If you fail something 3 times, they'll let you skip the event and go to the next one, which is why I have a bunch of grays here, because 2050 gets pretty tough. But you can see here the campaign, not that many races ultimately. There are 10 tracks in the game. Let's just get into something back in the old school days of 2048 here. And you see you have two ways of passing each one. You got pass and elite pass. It will pull in normally friends list sort of stuff here, but for whatever reason it was unable to connect to the server. Hey, who knows? Pick a vehicle here. You got
5-star speed, AG system speed, Kyrex fighter, Oricom agility.
So everyone's got a speed, fighter, agility, and a prototype ship. The prototype ones have to be unlocked as you rank up and unlock kind of secret events. And those prototype races or at least I've only unlocked the 5-star prototype race. It's not easy, so
5-star speed.
I've not gotten there yet. Menu flow stuff like that ideally should have just taken me back to this screen when I selected a track instead of going all the way back out. But hey, actually this has no weapons. We don't want to go that early. All right, Unity Square. So here's a real honest load time for Wipeout. You see a percentage kind of climbing up in the corner here.
Oh. I was looking at those triangles.
20%. The
Maybe
triangles
they
are also
want
accurate.
you to look at those triangles.
Yeah, the triangles are also accurate, so they will all fill in by the time we hit 100.
So we're looking at probably a full minute here to get into a race.
That's, well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm a bad judge of time. All I know is that this feels like forever.
Okay. Feels like forever.
Yeah, there you go. There are multiple control schemes. The default one is kind of more of a racing game style where the air brake, you don't use the triggers for left and right air brake. Use the square button for just a generic air brake while you're turning, and you can double tap it to side shift. You can do barrel rolls, that sort of stuff. But if you want the other style of using your air brakes on the triggers, that is definitely there. And it keeps friends leaderboards. Like basically, this game has auto log from Need for Speed in it. Like it'll show you that sort of stuff. Because I'm going to be talking and playing, expecting to just bang around this course like a moron. It's got some pilot assist. You can turn on 3 different levels of it. One of them is off, and one of them is extreme, which can be handy for some of those later races. It's got a lot of the modes you expect from a modern Wipeout game. It's got zone. It does not appear to have zone battle.
Zone is when it gets all trippy.
Yeah.
It's kind of psychedelic and
Yeah.
a lot of
And
primary
those look pretty
colors.
good, and it seems like the frame rate's a little better in those because it's kind of shading the tracks a
Was
little
this
more
frame rate
simply.
an issue in this game too?
Yeah. Yep.
Like just inconsistent or just not as fast as you would like?
It's not as fast as I would like. It kind of hurts the sense of speed you get from the game because it is relatively choppy. So enough flyover.
I mean, once Wipeout took the jump to 60 frames a second on the PS3, it's probably kind
Yeah,
of hard
it's really hard to go
back.
back. I actually, over the weekend, went and played some Wipeout HD, kind of just remind myself of what that looked like. And God damn, it looks good. But I think this game looks really good in static images. I think the ship design's outstanding. The tracks look really nice. But just when it's running, it doesn't look awesome. And it's kind of like, that's my bar for Wipeout, is it should look awesome.
What was always, even on the PS1, like a marvel of technical excellence with also like equally impressive art style. Like it was just really slick in every way.
I like the sound that the ships make. Sound like crazy, slightly futuristic motorcycles. I think the soundtrack's really good. It has a Prodigy song on it, so good kind of throwback to Wipeout XL.
Hey Jeff, you have a friend request.
You think?
Capital F, not just normal friends, real friends.
Yeah, Almas in the chat says he feels like he is in a dubstep womb, which I guess was his way of asking for.
There's no true dubstep in this game. You will get a little bit of wobble bass, but sadly no.
Sad.
Final lap.
That was a sweet barrel roll I just did. Just want to put that out there. But yeah, you can side shift, you can barrel roll, like kind of the things you expect from the more recent Wipeout games. Those things are there. The different ships have different capabilities in terms of weapons. These speed ships, when you pick up rockets, it only fires 1 rocket, whereas the fighters will shoot 3 and agility will shoot 2. Also, these ships can't use the Quake. They never pick up the Quake power-up. Only the heavier ships do that. So, there's some more kind of tactical considerations there. And you'll see, like, as I'm gaining XP as I race here, every time I go over a speed boost or engage in combat, it will come up and say, you know, yay, a little bonus XP, stuff like that. So I think I passed by finishing third here, cranked it up into third at the very last minute here. After a race, you can go back through your replay, and there's a photo mode where you kind of take pictures of stuff if that's what you want to do. And the XP goes into your level here. You see I'm level 13. And you'll unlock additional ships and stuff like that as you rank up.
Does the loading extend to even just restarting a race?
The restarting a race is faster than loading a race,
But
for
there's
sure.
still a waiting period.
There's still a waiting period, yeah. So let's see here. What's going to be the way to get community? Let's see. That'll probably, yeah. Hopefully it'll reconnect properly this time. I don't know why it didn't connect properly last time. It'll show your online friends, as well as. Seems like it's thinking about it.
It's not sure how it feels about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. That's fun. That's weird. So that's their server's just down on their end.
Yeah.
I think that's just the Wipeout server is down right now, which is unfortunate because it's been up for days because the game's been out in Japan. So there's definitely people playing it, and that's a bummer. You can go to your profile here. I'm sorry. No, what am I looking for? Nope. That's ship select. I guess actually it is profile, and then yeah. So you kind of see how many speed pads you've hit, how many barrel rolls you've done. Let's go into zone mode. One of the things this game is really missing is the race box, which was kind of the custom race section of Wipeout HD, where you just pick a track, pick how many laps, pick a difficulty level, and go. This doesn't have that, so you're kind of, if you want to do a specific track, you can go over and do a speed lap where you're racing alone, or you're gonna have to button through this campaign menu until you find the track you want, which is a weird choice, I think, on the developer's part to not have that in there. It's one of those things where I feel crazy even saying it because I dug through these menus and I guess it's possible there's something I'm missing because it seems like that should be there, right? But it's not, and that's really weird. We'll do zone mode, then we'll do combat. Combat seems to be the mode I encountered online the most because I seem like because they're shorter and it seems like you're just running into people that are just grinding XP.
Just purely for trophies, or just to unlock?
For trophies to unlock stuff, or try to get to level 50, which I think is the cap.
Oh man, these are cool looking.
Yeah.
D-Class.
It's been a while since I played
So they
Wipeout
present the
HD.
speed classes differently than they do in traditional Wipeout. You don't see Venom and Rapier and Phantom and that sort of stuff. It's D, C, B, A+, and Mach. And I think you only see Mach in zone events if you get past like zone 40 or something.
C-Class.
So in zone mode, for the people that aren't familiar with it, I'm not accelerating. It is accelerating for me. And it just kind of, every time I cross a zone, it gets a little bit faster and a little bit faster and a little bit faster. And so, you know, eventually you're going to wear down your ship energy to 0 and blow up because you won't be able to stay off the walls.
It's kind of like a Wipeout equivalent of a survival mode.
Yeah. They expanded on this concept in the Fury add-on for Wipeout HD with something called Zone Battle, which put other AI racers or other racers on the track, and was a pretty interesting twist on the basic zone concept. This is maybe a little more dubstep-ish there. Oh, yeah, there we go. Get a barrel roll.
Several people asking about custom soundtrack support.
I have not seen any custom soundtrack support in any of the games that I've played. It doesn't appear to be a system level thing, but I'm not positive on that. There is a music player. I don't think there's any music on this on the Vita right now though. So you can launch the music player, get something playing, and then quit out and do other stuff. So it is possible that maybe you could do a game and do that. I don't know one way or the other right now.
Zone 10 clear.
But Yeah, even when you get going pretty fast, like the sense of speed just doesn't, the frame rate doesn't support the speed at which a Wipeout game probably should run. And I guess I find myself wishing that they had knocked down some of the elements of the background, or like they made some different choices on the optimization side of like working on getting the frame rate up, as opposed to making the static images and basic stuff look pretty.
Yeah, I mean, they had a couple extra months to work on it too. Like it launched in Japan. Like as far as I know, this was tweaked a little bit, but it's too bad it didn't get to the optimal state for what you want out of a Wipeout game.
Yeah. And it's hard to know right now what the Vita is going to end up being capable of in the long run.
And that's the confusing part about some of these launch games is it's hard to tell. Is it a launch syndrome? Is it not enough time? Is it the machine? They're just trying to do too much with the machine, and you hit this wall when you are trying to aim for PS3 games, and then not scaling back enough. But when you have these games that you can do side-by-side comparisons of, it really hurts the portable ones because what they're aiming for, maybe it's just not possible for them to get there.
Right, and it's like it's kind of left me with this feeling of like, if this is what the Vita is going to be capable of, and obviously, the optimization will get better, and the tools will probably get better, who knows. But right now, like, not really, the visual's not really doing it for me. Like Uncharted, like you see some kind of flat-looking stuff in a lot of spots. This with the frame rate, and those are kind of the two big technical showpieces for the game right now. I think Stardust looks great with its frame rate and that sort of stuff, but it is a downloadable game. They're probably gonna shoot to nail those particle effects and that sort of stuff. But I can't say that. Yeah, like the graphics are really doing it for me. It's one of those things that kind of is exacerbated by the price of the games being what they are, and being not too far off from console games.
Yeah, and it's the rumors prove out. We're maybe a month away from like an iPad 3 coming out, and like Lord knows what kind of chips are going to be in there. But it's it comes at a very interesting time where it has to really prove itself up front, and especially if you're going to be asking those prices. Yeah,
and some of the stuff with the way the frame rate looks on some of these games, we'll get into stuff like Asphalt a little later that, they just look like iPhone games, like they just
and in many cases probably are.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there are a couple of Game Loft joints.
Right.
That's part of Ubisoft, and they kill on the iPhone.
Those things really stink up the joint. It's not a review though. Can't review them yet. But that's early preview style impressions are. Those are not high on my list of Vita games you should maybe check out.
Just to double back to custom soundtracks for a second.
Yeah.
Alex Carrillo says custom soundtracks are system level. The music app is multitaskable.
Okay.
And will run music while games are playing.
That makes sense then. Let's see if we can even do that. I don't know if there's any music on here. If there is, it's because Sony put it on here before sending us this Vita.
All your favorite
but there
popular
might be.
Sony recording artists.
Huh.
Like her.
Who do you think you are? A super STAR? Who do you think you are?
There you go. There's your answer.
So that canceled out the game's music then, right?
Yeah, sounds like it.
It's music player aware.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that seems like a system level thing. Cool.
Yeah.
That's the right move. I know I don't necessarily use custom soundtracks a lot, but it's that's how you should do it.
It works.
It's just let that stuff work. And, all right, that's enough of that.
And I will say, that is pretty amazing how quickly you got
just
in,
get out of
out,
the game,
close
like,
that, go back to the game.
yeah.
Seamless, no loading.
Like really nice that they let you jump out pretty quickly here. With the servers down, I don't know if we're going to be able to show online, but I'll give it a shot. This seems to have a problem where it feeds me the end user license agreement every single time I try it, but that seems to have been corrected. Oh, so this isn't even there we go. I've completed more of the online campaign than this Wipeout. What are we doing here? Oh, geez. Okay, maybe it's just maybe the progress is stored on that server or something. Let's see if it connects up properly. So
That
what
seems
they've
like a
done
good way
here
to
is-
scare you.
Yeah. So what they've done here with the online, they call it an online campaign, but it's not like each one of these things is like the single player where they're all tied to races. Instead, they're tied to objectives. So it'll be like, okay, to pass here. So okay, we're not gonna be able to show the online, unfortunately. We can show probably what the cross-play menu looks like. Maybe that'll be down too, but we'll see. So it'll be like objectives, like you need to finish the event to pass. You need to finish the event and shoot 2 people to get an elite pass. For that event, and then you move on through 20 levels of multiple objectives. And between races, you vote between 2 different things, which so far has meant everyone just votes for the combat race of the 2 things. All right, so we're not gonna be able to show any of that stuff right now. That's unfortunate. Yeah, the online works. It has a photo capability, so if you take a picture of yourself, you will then receive pictures from other players that have opted to take a picture of themselves and see them when they kill you and or when they win a race and that sort of stuff.
And then the near stuff is what, like time trials?
Yeah, the near stuff I can get into here. So for these hot laps over here, you just as you level up, you unlock. So I have C class and B class for most of the tracks here, and this is where you see kind of specific tracks. Now, if I do one that I've already done, there'd be a near button on one of these here.
There would be.
and that would let you share it out to the near service, but it is not functional. And then that'll ostensibly drop your lap time at a position in the world, and other people can find it.
So it drops it like where you are at the time?
I'm not sure. My understanding is yes, is
Okay.
it's where you are at the time. But I think it might be where you are, period.
Sure.
Where you've been. It'll show up kind of in all those spots. It's kind of hard to tell. You know, I think it'll be one of those things. Hopefully the system comes out and does really well, and there's a bunch of people everywhere with game goods all over the place. But even if in the event that there's not, some of that stuff does share across your friends list, so you'll be able to do it either way with that. So that's pretty much Wipeout. Yeah, that's pretty much Wipeout. It's not bad. You know, I think some of the technical stuff bums me out, and you know, like the lack of a custom race function, like the lack of just like I want to race on this track, and in this difficulty, let's go, is maybe a bummer too, because this you know you look at this map, there's no way of really knowing what track any one of these things are. You can just know that like this one's going to be a combat race. You know, let's quickly show a combat race. Let's go out on a combat race, and I'll get in a different. That's not. That is not what I hit. Oh jeez. So team.
Kyrex agility. Kyrex fighter.
Was downtown the track we just did? I think it might have been. Let's do Rockaway
Yeah,
Stadium.
we haven't done that for sure.
So in this one, you just get points for damage that you do to other players. So if you shoot someone with a cannon, you get like a 1/10 of a point. If you hit them with a quake, you end up getting like 6 points. And the object here is to score 25 points to pass.
So you don't have to worry as much about your racing as much as you're just trying to get
Right.
into the middle of a pack.
Exactly.
And just mess with people.
And just mess people up. So what they do to kind of assist that is when you tap up on the right stick, you do a 180. So you turn around and go the opposite direction on the track.
That's pretty good.
So this doesn't happen so much in the offline games because the AI will just go around the track as it's supposed to. But online, it's just been people going back and forth over one stretch, just shooting each other the whole time, which is why the events are really short and why they're able to grind out all that XP.
Is that actually fun, or is that just
It is not fun.
Okay.
Also, these combat games are where the frame rate kind of usually takes more of a hit because there are so many weapons going off, especially when they're in that tight area.
Sure.
You got guys firing off plasma, and there's a quake coming up the track, and 2 missiles coming your way. Like it really it taxes the system.
Combat systems ready.
Bad shot. So you see situations like that where it's like
bit of a hiccup.
oh, should probably dodge that. So there I hit the guy with a missile, got 2 points. I'll shoot these rockets off. hopefully get some guys here. Get around this corner and drop them. No, missed. And you have a time limit basically, so you see that the time taken down. I got a couple of minutes here to get to at least 25 points. It would be a lot easier if I ran over these weapon pickups instead of dodging them. But hey, there you go. You see, I am getting ripped up here, so I can absorb some power-ups to recover. But let's just let the ship blow up and show what that looks like. And you lose points when you blow up.
Oh, you went down to 0.
So I went down to 0 there.
And this is one of the first games online passes are now coming to handhelds.
Yeah,
this is one of the first ones.
SOCOM on the PSP had it.
Did it really?
Yeah. I think the most recent SOCOM did it. And I want to say there was like one other game, like Resistance maybe?
Yeah, that Resistance game had something.
Yeah. I think that was their thing of like, oh dude, no one buys PSP games anymore because they all just download them. So let's put this into, even if people are pirating the game, hopefully buy it on one pass. That was a bad shot. There you go.
Curious to see how, if that makes any material impact, given that, you can't play multiplayer over 3G even if you have that device.
Right.
That's all Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And how much multiplayer becomes a thing on devices like that.
So I get bonus points there because I blew up the ship. But yeah, so I tap up on the stick, he'll just whip it around. I can just. It prevents you from just going over the same weapon pad over and over again. It won't give you weapons if you do that. So they kind of make you have to go back and forth over a larger stretch of track than it might initially seem. But yeah.
This is chaotic.
Yeah. So we'll finish up with about 12 points here, which is not going to be enough. But that's Wipeout 2048. It is now available right now, today, this very minute, over the PlayStation Store, if you want to buy it that way. But you can also wait, I guess, a day or something like that.
Yeah.
And get it in a box if that's what you want.
You want that tiny cart.
Yeah, if you want that sweet tiny cart, that's another option. So that's Wipeout. Let's move on.